Good afternoon, my beautiful souls. Welcome back to chapter 4 of Manipulative Daydream. Thank you all for taking the time to join me, and I hope you all loving the sunshine here in the UK. This chapter is we are going to discuss the dark side of Manipulative Daydream, which I'm going to McLeod's ending for short. The part you face alone. So, I hope you enjoy. Let's begin. So, the dark side begins quietly. It doesn't announce itself. It starts as a comfort, then it becomes a craving, then it becomes a place you rather be than your real life. This is the stage where you're literally rushing your day just to get back to the fantasy. Or if you're anything like myself, I would or could carry my normal day as usual, have normal conversations as usual, be at my job, do my normal job as usual, but I wouldn't physically be present. I'm in my own world. Sadly to say, I have years experience with MD and I kind of a little bit the crow of it. Not, big myself up and just say I'm literally at that point. So you're at the stage where you're kind of feeling irritated when real life interrupts. I should give you a personal example. For me, your child asks you a question and you answer quickly just to get back to your fantasy. You love them, you're present, but in that moment, you're half here, half there. You give a short answer, praying they don't ask a follow up, because in your mind, it's still trying to run back to the scene you were in. Or you're praying also. Or what I would do is like, I don't know, babe. I don't know. I'm sorry. Or Google it, babe. I'm sorry. I'm guilty back then. But you're literally rushing back to the scene you were in. In the beginning, I used to pause real tasks because you want to finish the scene in your head. You're supposed to be doing the dishes, getting ready, leave the house, finish work, but you feel irritated because you're in the middle of a storyline and you don't want to break that momentum. It feels like you've been interrupted mid sentence, except the sentence is in your imagination. You start living in two timelines, but only one feels safer. I believe, in my personal opinion, I practically my whole life I was on autopilot. It's mind blowing today how I never crashed my car, how I never had an accident. Someone asks you a question, you answer it automatically, but your mind never leaves the scene you are in. It's like you're running two tabs at once, but only one has your full attention. The guilt. You feel guilty for wanting the world in your head more than the one in front of you. This is the part nobody likes to admit out loud. I have tremendous guilt. It's sad that you feel even more trapped to talk about the guilt, especially back in those days when I was growing up, where it wasn't really a main topic or even heard of back then. My main guilt was my daughter talking to me, but your mind is somewhere else. You're listening, but not fully. Your mind is still in the storyline. Later, you reply the moment and feel that sting. Why wasn't I fully present? Why did I want the fantasy more? It's not that you don't love them, it's that the fantasy feels easier, and that guilt is so heavy. You feel guilty when real life feels dull compared to your fantasy. You look around your real environment and you feel nothing. Then you slip into your inner world and you feel everything. You're alive. And you think, why does my real life feel so flat? Why do I can feel the world in my head? That guilt is quiet, but constant. It's like the addiction, the pull you can't even explain to anyone. Andy becomes addictive, not because it's fun, but because it gives you what life didn't. The dark side is the compulsion, the urgency, The just 5 more minutes, the way your body physically aches to go back in, the way your brain starts scripting without your permission. It's not a weakness, it's an unmet emotional needs replaying themselves in the only place you ever felt seen. The drainage, the life drain, when MD starts taking more than it gives. This is the stage where MD stops being a coping mechanism and becomes a thief. It steals your time, your presence, your sleep, your energy, your ability to connect, your ability to feel grounded in your own life. You will start to notice you're shutting the world out. You're avoiding responsibilities. You're emotionally numb in real life. You're overstimulated in your fantasy. You're losing momentum, motivation, and direction. This is the part where you feel yourself slipping, and it starts to show physically. The heavy eyelids, the dark circles, and I don't care how much eye gel or the gusha stone rubs around those eyes. It is noticeable. The skin looks pale, the face is all drawn in, your lips are all crusty because how bloody dehydrated your body is because you want to be in bed in your fancy world then just to go pick up a bottle of water. It's not a pretty sight. The isolation, when you start hiding from everyone, the dark side of MD is lonely because it's a secret. You don't tell anyone because they won't understand. They think you're dramatic. Dramatic, yes, but for me, it was understanding. Like I said, back in those days, MD wasn't even heard of. So when I finally got the courage to speak about it, I would literally be gazed back in a puzzled mind. And they'd be like interrupting me, like, sorry, wait a minute. Sorry, you said you spend your day dreaming. Like, literally dreaming. How is that possible? And why? Growing up, like I said, I never heard of the word. Didn't even know anything about it as well as I do now, as we all do now. So how can you explain back then why you do it apart from I love it, I enjoy it, I have so much fun? Now it's a different answer, but back then is like as a child, as a teen, yes, I love it, I enjoy it, I love it so much. And they think you're crazy or, sorry to say, you're making it up. They can't wrap their heads around it. There's something wrong with you. Seriously, girl, you need to get a grip. They choose to believe it's just laziness. Amongst other personal things I was going through in my personal life, I was always called lazy. Or that girl sure loves her bed, don't she? My favorite days as a kid was the treacherous rain. I would be like, well, I guess we're not going out today, right? Or we haven't got anything planned today, right? Well, I may as well play in my bedroom, or I'll go back in my bedroom and chill. Like it's raining, there's nothing to do with it. And I'll be like, ka-ching. Or I suffered from very, very bad hay fever. I would have nosebleeds upon nosebleeds. My eyes would be like golf balls. I had really bad asthma on a bad hay fever day. So everybody would be playing outside, and I would be stuck in a slightly dark room, my nose running like a tap. But to me, ka-ching, I'd be like, yeah, left alone. So you, what can I say? It's like you don't have to explain yourself. That for me, for those days, you're like, thank God I could be left alone. I don't have to explain myself or why am I doing it. So you carry it alone. You hide it. You protect it. You defend it. You depend on it. And that isolation becomes its own addiction. This is where the emotional crash, the guilt, the shame, the self blame comes into it. I hated to hear the words lazy. It truly hurt me because all you wanted was someone to believe in you or listen to you or try give an explanation. Obviously, after the high comes the crash. You wake up from a long empty episode and feel guilt. Guilt for losing hours. So I became a pro, as I said. I would get up super early, do my workout, get the house in order and clean, get supper prepped, get everything done which needs to be prioritized. So my reward was to jump back into my bed and go back into my world without the guilt or shame. In my eyes, everything was done right. However, still, as time goes on, you start to wake up and realize what exactly you are losing out on. Shame for choosing fantasy over your child, your work, your life. Angry at yourself, confusion about why you cannot stop. I would be crying in temper, like, what the is wrong with me? Why is this even happening? Why can't I stop? You tried so many different techniques. Nothing seems to work. I hear a song, boom. I see a clip on an advert, boom. An incident takes place in the real world, boom. Something happened to me personally, boom. Anything would trigger it. And you just feel trapped. There's no way around it or out. Fear that you're losing control and your self identity. I'm a person who questions everything, and I guess we all still do to this day. I I'm like that film. I don't know if you've seen that film. Is it Pet's Life? Where there's the hamster and he jumps on the wheel. And I believe the saying is, I get on this wheel, I run, I keep running and running and running, and I am going where? Nowhere. That's life always feels to me. Like I would literally be like, yeah, I understand why, like, we gotta pay bills, we gotta get up, but that's the real, like, but what is the purpose? What is the main thing? Okay, we have to create, but why are we creating? What is the purpose? Why? To find out who we are, to become one with the source. I believe me, yeah, but why? For what reason? I always had this sense I don't belong here. I always felt trapped, regardless of the real world or the anti world. I went into anti world for a lot of reasons, but I still had unanswered questions. I always wanted more, the thirst. What is the purpose? Why am I here? And I would play out scenes and everything, trying to find the answers for all sorts. This is the part where people think that you're broken and not flipping crazy. Trust me, my family feels it. They've been stupid. But they're not. They're overwhelmed, they're grieving, and basically emotionally starving. The truth, Andy isn't just a fantasy. For me, it's like a mirror. The dark side isn't random, it's revealing something. The themes that pull you in the deepest are the ones connected to your wounds, your unmet needs, your childhood environment, your emotional hunger, your longing for safety, longing for love, validation, or power. The dark side is not the enemy, it's the messenger. It's not that I don't love my real life. It's not that I don't care. It's that the world in my head feels safer than the world in front of me. And that safety comes with guilt. Guilt nobody sees, guilt nobody talks about. But here's what people don't understand. When you look at someone with MD, you're not looking at a daydreamer. You're looking at a shattered soul who's built wills because the real one was unbearable. A child who saw things no child should ever see. A child who lost their childhood trying to survive. A child who had to take care of others before anyone ever took care of them. These worlds weren't a hobby. They were the only places they felt safe. The only place they heard kindness. The only place they felt loved, valued, or seen. The only place they weren't being shouted at, belittled, or heard. So when someone with MD finally speaks about it, when they open, when they trust you with the world they built to survive, the real question isn't why do you daydream so much? The real question is, what happened to you that made you need to create the world in the first place? And when we start asking that question, the guilt begins to loosen, the shame begins to fall away, and it becomes okay, finally okay, to talk about it. So, thank you so much for your time, and I hope this chapter has served you well. In the next chapter, I want us to explore the emotional layers and signals. So, which I am so blessed to share with you all. Please share the love and hit that like button, and please leave me a comment so I know you're finding these videos useful. Please support me and the cause and subscribe. Truly means a lot to me. And don't forget to head over to my webpage, 13 Minutes Call, and open the vault. We will go into deeper and how to overcome this topic and challenges. In the meantime, remember, I am what I am, and I am enough. Yes, indeed, you all are beautifuls. I love you. I am Nikki, the Sovereign Architect. Until next time, thank you.